Hans, how is the movie going so far?
Well, when you take a look at what the ruble's done since Putin has started to speak about an hour and a half ago, it looks like a heartbeat monitor. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it down. These are remarkable comments. At one moment, Mr. Putin suggests that the central bank is independent. At the next, he doesn't approve of what they're doing. We've gotten a lot of mixed messages, but on one crucial point, and that is he's been consistent. The West is to blame, and he's got a precise figure for you, Brendan. 25 to 35% of the economic crisis is because of Western sanctions.
So that's not 37, that's 35. We know exactly.
Right. I mean, that's Russian precision on that very point. I mean, even metaphorically, his language is remarkable. He is talking about a bear, about Russia being a bear that likes to have honey and berries, but the West wants to defang this bear, and then it would be nothing but a stuffed animal. Remarkable rhetoric out of Vladimir Putin.
And he's telling the bear to hibernate. I should point out, we're looking at this press conference live. These can go on for as long as 4 hours, but I thought what was interesting is he's sending a signal this could last for 2 years. That means that Russians are going to expect privation for a while.
2 years is what he put out there, and he did, we should mention, he did give himself some room on that, right? He did say, if things aren't working out after 2 years, maybe we'll have to reevaluate and maybe cut some programs. So even prepared the public for additional economic pain. But on the crucial issue of Ukraine, at one moment he sparred with a Ukrainian journalist. Vladimir Putin hasn't given anything. The only hope for optimism is that he and Merkel had, as we mentioned yesterday, had that late call on Monday evening along with Hollande and others. It's really the only hope, but really not a lot of optimism coming out of today.
Not a lot of optimism, and I'm glad you brought up Merkel here, because Putin with a near-record approval ratings, I think somewhere in the 85% range. Yes. Merkel, of course, also very popular in her Germany as well. How much of her popularity is hinged on her relationship with Putin? Does she have sway with him still?
Oh, very little of her popularity has to do with sort of what they used to call Ostenpolitik, the view towards the East. It's more on the economy and what Angela Merkel has done, and somewhat internally given credit for saving the euro. Now, whether or not the euro crumbles, we've got some concern in Greece, what happens next, but most of Merkel's approval rating really is based on economics. It's less focused on Russia. There seems to be a consensus on Russia, and that is, sanctions need to have some teeth. She repeated that this morning, and that sanctions need to stay in place until Crimea or until the sovereignty of Ukraine is respected.
Hans, there's an EU summit today. Are the leaders there more worried about what's going on in Moscow or what's going on in Athens?
Technically, the summit in the next couple of days is going to be more Russia-focused. Athens got about a 2-month lease on life, so we're going to have to see how these presidential votes look in Athens. Today's didn't go great. Yesterday's didn't go well. That was expected not to go well. The real, heartbreak moment for Athens and for Greece is December 29 on whether or not we'll have snap elections. So right now, it's a wait-and-see approach on Greece. I'd put that more in that basket.